Hey everyone, when challenger players are smurfing, they win lane in the first 3 levels in 99% of the games. It's simply because these 3 levels actually have a lot that go into them, and low elo players make big mistakes as they aren't used to being punished for them in those ranks. And one mistake in these early levels can decide the entire lane. To show you what we mean, we're going to break down a few games from low elo to show you these mistakes. In one of the games, we have one of our high elo players McBase smurfing in gold to show you how to punish these mistakes as well. Alright, for this first game, we're going to look at a game in gold with 2 low elo players. One of them is on Jarvan and the other is on Kayle. This is a good matchup to watch because even though Kayle is a weaker champion earlier, she can actually win if she doesn't have to leash and gets the push advantage. So let's see what happens. At the start of the lane, Jarvan walks straight up the Kayle looking to all in. For some reason, Kayle runs towards Jarvan's minions then into the brush. They start trading autos and eventually disengage from each other. So they both misplayed very hard here. Jarvan should never be going all in on Kayle at level 1 because Kayle level 1 is much stronger than his. Kayle misplayed because she didn't just stand in her minions and all in. Kayle was kiting backwards this whole time, but if she had the game knowledge and knew she wins level 1, she would start hitting Jarvan and moving forward. So literally before a single minion dies, one player made a lane losing mistake and the other didn't capitalize on it. Let's keep going though. Jarvan has pretty low health but has potions running, and Kayle is still poking with her E whenever it's up. So let's talk about the situation here. Because of the mistake Jarvan made, he has to play this a certain way or he's completely doomed. He has Ignite over TP, so if Kayle just slow pushes and pokes him then crashes the wave will bounce back to Kayle and Jarvan will be too low to all in and can't TP back with full health. So Jarvan has to stay very healthy until the wave crashes and can give up CS to make sure he doesn't lose too much health. Then, as the wave is bouncing back to Kayle, that's when Jarvan can look for all-ins. But if Kayle plays properly and doesn't give Jarvan any openings and lands enough poke, there's nothing he can do. So let's see what happens. Right away, we already have a problem from Kayle. She's at 40% health and has 2 corrupting pots that she's not using. This is a super common mistake in low elo. You have to understand that Jarvan has more burst than Kayle, but Kayle wins in an extended fight like we saw at level 1. So if she stays near full health, it's almost impossible to die. This is especially true when Jarvan took Electrocute and Kayle has PTA. Then after this, you see how Kayle is just constantly auto-attacking the minions? This is another mistake. She should be last hitting as that will stack up 3 waves of minions, then she can crash the wave and poke Jarvan. Now look what happens when she's done clearing the wave. It's going to crash on the second wave when they are both level 2. If she crashed the third wave, Kayle would be level 3 and Jarvan level 2. And it should be obvious how free of a kill Kayle is at the moment because she's not using potions. But Jarvan is also misplaying here because he's not going all in on Kayle right now when she's walking up with such low health. Jarvan can just one-shot her with his Electrocute and Ignite. You have to understand that not taking advantage of the enemy laner griefing is griefing, because what if Kayle just walks away and recalls now? Now after the wave is cleared, Kayle runs up like this. Before we see the obvious result here, don't try to act like these players are so much worse than you guys. We see this gameplay and these same mistakes from everyone gold or below, even sometimes in plat and diamond. But yeah, obviously Jarvan just goes in and kills the Kayle like he should have a while ago. Alright now, let's look at the second game where McBase is on Riven against a Nasus in gold. At the start of the lane, this Nasus actually plays relatively smart. He started Doran's Ring and E. McBase is positioned right next to any CS Nasus would want to go for because he knows Riven wins level 1 extremely hard. This is also what the Kayle could have been doing to the Jarvan. But the Nasus doesn't bite and doesn't give McBase the chance to win lane at level 1. Now the next wave is here, and since Nasus wasn't walking up, McBase tries to give him some distance here because he's 1 minion from level 2. Nasus does walk up a bit more but immediately turns around and doesn't give an opening. Finally, Nasus walks up a little too far and uses E, so McBase goes in. It looks like McBase lost the trade because he's lower health, but he started that at 60% and Nasus was at 100%. So McBase won the trade really hard because he punished the one mistake Nasus made here. Nasus was doing really well up until that point. Now, McBase is going to grab a few CS and Nasus is going to do the same using his E like this. Unfortunately, Nasus makes another big mistake here, trying to walk up and use Q on this low health range minion. And this is what we mean when we say high elo players will punish every mistake and that's why they win lanes so early. Then before McBase can look for one last all-in at level 3, the enemy Nunu shows up to gank. He's forced to use Flash to outplay and survive here, which throws the lead he had but not entirely. He tries to go into the brush and look for a potential all-in on the Nasus because even though Nasus has more HP, McBase will win this. But because Kindred is invading, Nasus backs off. Eventually, McBase just recalls and Nasus fails to try and help the Nunu, which he shouldn't have tried to help in the first place. Then Nasus walks up to try and finish farming this wave. Because he tried to help Nunu, he couldn't shove this wave in time to crash it and he backs off to recall. If you were him here, would you TP back to lane? The answer here should always be yes. If he doesn't TP back to lane, McBase can freeze this the entire time and deny so much experience. It's a lane losing mistake. If Nasus TP'd back in, he wouldn't lose all of these minions, and he wouldn't be in danger of an all-in because he would have the minion advantage. He can hold his own against McBase if he plays it right. But sadly for him, he doesn't TP back in, so McBase freezes the entire time until Nasus gets back to lane. This gives him a huge experience advantage, and this is a big problem for Nasus as he can't really walk up to farm at all or stack his Q. McBase will contest every CS Nasus goes for like this until he gets a big chunk here. After hitting 6, McBase looks for an all-in but Nasus keeps his distance, so McBase goes back to the wave to start slow pushing. He's not going to freeze the wave anymore because he can do something even more punishing. If he starts slow pushing, he can stack up 3 entire waves of minions, and since Nasus lost so much experience, he won't hit level 6, which would give him enough health to survive under tower. So McBase would plan on diving after stacking up those 3 waves. So as he starts slow pushing, he's still going to run in and out of range of an all-in like this, just in case Nasus makes a mistake and is too far up. McBase notices he was late to turn around here, so he all-ins to close out the lane. And if we go back to right before Nasus died, if you look at the top left, he has 9 stacks on his Q and only 19 CS in 7 minutes. This is what happens when low elo players make big mistakes in the first few levels. It snowballed insanely hard by the high elo player. And remember, if you want to improve fast and get the rank you've always wanted, then check out SkillCapped.com. Link in the description below. Alright guys, so as you can see, big mistakes are made by both players in low elo. If you can spot these and punish them like a high elo player would, you can win lane very quickly almost every game. But that's going to bring us to the end of this one. We hope you enjoyed and thanks for watching.